I'm going to pass the podium over to Brian with his speech 42.
The answer to the ultimate question of life, the universe, and everything is 42. If you don't like the answer, don't blame me, blame Douglas Adams. He wrote what is known as the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. In it, a supercomputer called Deep Thought spends 7.5 million years to come up with the answer to the ultimate question of life, the universe, and everything. The joke is that the answer being 42 doesn't make sense to us because we don't understand what the actual question is. When we understand what the question, the ultimate question of life, the universe, and everything is, then the answer, 42, that'll just make sense. I've thought about a lot this year because I turned 42, which makes me the answer to the ultimate question of life, the universe, and everything. And it was interesting to do that because being 42 actually did teach me what the ultimate question is. When I was 42, we thought the world would return to normal, but we didn't, clearly. A lot of the things that happened before were still kind of happening. But being 42 and thinking about this, it came to the realization that the ultimate questions of life, the universe, and everything have everything to do with your obligations. Marie Kondo is a Japanese decluttering expert. She is the person who pioneered the thought that if you hold all the objects in your life and ask yourself, does this spark joy? And then anything that doesn't spark joy, you get rid of, that you'll have happiness. That's a great idea if you want to have a pretty room like I do. But we all know you don't live inside this room, despite what we tried to do when coronavirus first happened. So how do you actually declutter your life? Well, believe it or not, Marie's got 3 questions for you. Does this spark joy? Will this create future joy? And are you legally required to do this? If you look at everything you're doing in your daily life, your daily routine, weekly, monthly, and ask yourself those 3 questions, and the answer is nope, not in no way. You got to get rid of those things because they're sucking the life, the universe, and everything right out of you. The reason why this hit home so hard when I was 42 is because when I was 41, there was only one question that mattered. Is this safe? We didn't do anything if it just wasn't safe to do. For me, a father of 2 kids living in suburbia, that meant when I was 41, I had a summer of nothingness. Blissful nothingness. I did nothing and it was everything that I thought it would be. I woke up every day. I telecommuted to work. I went off of the phone. And then I sat at home with my kids. It was everything I wanted to be. Then when the summer ended and school started back up again because it was safe enough, all of those little obligations started to crawl right back into my life. All the little things happened. Basketball came back, going to the bars came back, trivia night came back, going to the movies came back, all the little organizations that sucked up my time and ate up my calendar, they all started coming right back into me. Back to 300 emails every single day, lots of Zoom calls and lots of meetings about every little nuanced detail, all came back. And I never once stopped to ask myself the question, does this spark joy? Is this creating future joy? And am I legally required to do this? Those 3 questions are all about trying to figure out why are you doing the things? And I know a lot of you are thinking, this sounds like a very nihilistic approach to life, Brian. You're only going to do the things that make you happy or you're legally required to do. What about your obligations in life? Well, the questions are about identifying the why you're doing this. And the questions are about situations where it is not easy to know what you want to do. You want to come to a timeshare presentation? You get a $50 gift card to Amazon if you come to it. It's only an hour long. What about your crazy uncle's birthday party? He says a lot of things on Facebook that just do not need to be said out loud ever. These 3 questions are about identifying why you do those things. Of course you go get the Amazon gift card. It's $50. That $50 is going to buy a lot of joy. But your uncle, that man's never sparked joy for anyone in his life, including his wife. But grandma will be there and she sparks a lot of joy. And keeping my mom happy, well, where I come from, that's called future joy. Knowing those three questions help me understand why I'm doing those things. It's not about getting rid of things, because that's the warm, happy, fuzzy reality I hope you're about ready to understand. When I went through my calendar and I went through my things, I didn't get rid of one single thing. I'm still doing all the things I was doing before, but now I'm a happier, motivated person. If you'd asked me 2 years ago, Brian, you want to go sit out at the track field while your son trips over hurdles at 8 o'clock at night and your daughter's getting hangry because dinner time is ruined and bath time's going to be bad and tomorrow morning is going to be garbage and you should be on the leaf call and be doing these other things, I would say, no, I do not enjoy this. But I'm the only parent there who actually likes what we're doing because I recognize the value of what we're doing. I'm creating future joy because my son will be a well-rounded person, even if he can never make it over a hurdle. That's the value of doing that to me. My answers will be different from your answers, and that's okay. You may not want to go to that timeshare presentation, but I will. This is about identifying why you do something, finding the joy in it. So next time you look at your calendar, ask yourself, does this spark joy? Will this create future joy? And are you legally required to do that? Those three questions, they're the ultimate questions of life, the universe, and everything. And I figured it out when I was 42.